Making your way in the galaxy today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your tribbles sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like a Romulan ale? Sometimes you want to go where the Double Girls know your name. And Quark is always glad to accept your latinum. Good afternoon, everybody.
Joe!
If you're on Deep Space Nine looking for Kanar or root beer, Yamak sauce or syrup of squill, or just want a holosuite, or about any kind of contraband, Quark is the Ferengi you need to see. This is a BlueBrixx Star Trek set from a sub-theme they call Brick Buddies, but I think we all know what it took inspiration from. This set is 234 pieces, which is a lot for a BrickHeadz style set, and it cost me 12.5 euros before shipping and smashing. This was part of my most recent BlueBrixx order, which came after the news that they were losing the Star Trek license. And I thought Quark, with his very distinctive head, was an interesting choice to get the BrickHeadz treatment. The set comes with 5 numbered bags, all numbered 1, plus 1 printed tile in its own bag, and a booklet with 20 pages of building instructions. This is a small box, so it doesn't include a cardboard tray like other BlueBrixx sets do. Just some quick notes about the build. The body starts at only 2x4 studs and becomes 4x4 studs with snot bricks, unlike the Lego BrickHeadz, which typically have a 4x4 body with more elements attached to the side to add detail. There's no color on the inside except for red. Most Lego BrickHeadz usually use some kind of colored bricks to fill in the middle that don't necessarily go with the character, with the exception of a pink brick to represent the brain. In this Quark model, the head is actually hollow, which I think is a missed opportunity because I think it should have been filled with gold coins or other elements to represent money, as that is what the Ferengi are known for. And the other thing the Ferengi are known for are for their large ears and large heads. And we'll take a look at how this model deviates from the normal cube-shaped head to form those ears. So I'll start at the bottom. You start by building the base, which is just some gray bricks, and you've got the printed tile indicating that this is Quark from Deep Space Nine. And then you actually build the legs directly onto the base. It's not a matter of just building the model and then placing it on the base. And then the body, which you can see is, let me move the tray of drinks out of the way momentarily. Quark does not wear a typical uniform like you might expect in a Star Trek show. He wears all kinds of very colorful outfits. And this model really captures that well. Where on the front you see he's got an outfit that is made on the outside of dark red tiles, covering up some magenta pieces on the inside that just show through at the top and bottom. And usually he's got something around his neck, and that's what this gold piece here with the bar is supposed to represent. And on the side, you even see that he's got a little bit of a tail to his coat. And Quark, of course, runs the bar on Deep Space Nine, and he is shown here holding a tray of drinks, which is some interesting colors here of translucent elements. It's funny, just a day or two ago, I was seeing other videos talking about translucent elements in space sets and how I thought translucent elements for every set are always cool. And we've got a trans yellow-green bottle and a trans pink telescope element and a trans light blue goblet, which I believe are unique to BlueBrixx sets, or at least not found in Lego. The tray is even made of flat silver elements to give it a little bit of shine. And the way it's attached in his hand is just a clip, and we've got one of these 1x1 modified elements here, and because it's rounded and we're just only connected on one stud, you can turn the tray to be able to see his outfit or just have him shown carrying the drinks. Up at the top, we've got the head, which is cube-shaped like you would expect in this type of model, but you can see we've got some slope bricks or cheese wedges at the top to give it some shape, and then the bumps on the front represented by these 2x2 round plates. Then, of course, the most distinctive feature here are the ears, which are extended out from the head using a 3x3, using a 3x3 rounded plate on each side and covered off with tiles. And then the ears are an extension that are actually attached here with hinges to be able to angle them. And really, to be fair, a Ferengi head is certainly not an easy thing to create in Lego or in bricks of any kind. I think they did a really good job. The only part of shaping that's off is the back. The Ferengi heads are generally sloped. In particular, Quark is relatively unique among the Ferengi shown on Star Trek because he doesn't have a tunic or headdress around the back like most Ferengi do. I did some research about this, and it turns out in the early Star Trek Next Generation episodes that had Ferengi, there were gaps in the prosthetics, so the headdress was invented to cover those up. But when Deep Space Nine came around and they made a prosthetic for Quark, they actually covered up all the gaps, so the headdress wasn't needed. And so when you see Quark on screen, his head actually comes out pretty far to the back and slopes downward, so it's not flat at all in the back. And I also looked, and there's actually no reason within the Star Trek universe why certain Ferengi wear headdresses and certain ones don't. Most of them do, probably because it's easier to do the makeup. There are a couple of neat details here that are really subtle, but again, I looked some things up when I was researching about the headdresses, is if you look really close, the eyes are these 1x1 tiles, and they're placed on headlight bricks that are dark red. Well, if you actually look at Quark close up around his eyes were intentionally made up to be this dark red purplish color. And so I believe that using dark red headlight bricks here is absolutely intentional. Another thing that's interesting is in his nose, because Ferengi noses are crinkled, and so using this cheese grater piece I think is really cool. But if you take it off, you'll see it also helps secure another piece. There's actually a gap here between the nose and mouth that has no anti-studs on the top and no studs on the bottom. So all they could do to fill the space was put in a 1x2 tile, and it's just held in place by the nose. I really enjoyed building this model, and he makes a great display if you like displaying brick-built Star Trek items. But if you get tired of displaying him, he actually can be put back in the box without being disassembled. Thanks for watching my video, and remember, today is a good day to build.